In today's talk, we'll talk about increasing the potential for publication. And we believe this workshop is useful for anyone who's considering publishing or in the process of getting their manuscripts ready. As you might know, that publishing is not always a straightforward process for so many people in academia. Many struggle with having their manuscripts or abstracts accepted, and many others have to wait for long, even sometimes years, for them to get published. To shed more light on this issue and possible solution to address this issue, we have today Dr. Muhammad Ahmed, who is an experienced educator, trainer, and curriculum designer with us at English Language Institute at King Abdulaziz University. He published extensively and presented in many international conferences. Please feel free to post your questions for Dr. Muhammad on the chat, and I'm sure maybe whenever Dr. Muhammad has a chance, probably towards the end of his talk today, we'll address these questions. Dr. Muhammad, the mic is yours.
Thank you, Dr. Soha Ali, for such a glowing introduction. I'm introduced to share some of my personal experiences apart from what's going on in the world of research, and no doubt I have delved deeper into this academic jungle out there where it's a stiff competition and it's not easy. You said right that it's not easy to get published, especially in the reputed journals, or because it's a tedious, painstaking process. Anyway, I'm going to talk about a lot about what are the steps involved, what are the stages involved. This QR code will take you to my Padlet where I have some of the resources, and I'm going to flip through all of these one by one, and this QR code can be used. All right, so let's see, what do I have to offer for now in this. So we have here nuts and bolts academic writing and publication quizzes. I've prepared some of the quizzes also to give you a test, a flavor of what you're up to and how much information would you like to add to your expertise on it. I know that in my audience there are research scholars, there are early bird scholars, there are developmental ones, and there are those who are wanting to step into this world of. So that's how I prepare some of the quizzes. Also, there are 20 questions, and I'll get back to that towards the end of my session. And to tell you the fact that I'm going to familiarize you with all the kinds of formats is required, like MLA format. I've got an example model of MLA format. I've got to show you how to choose a suitable journal, apart from the difficulty level, the chances of your getting published, and also the citation possibilities. Depends upon what kind of journal you're aiming for, because there's so many out there, and there are so many streams and different walks and fields of studies where you want your publication to be outstanding. So this research guy is one of my friends from Indonesia. And he has given an extensive detailed description of what it takes to, and what are the steps, what are the precautions, what are the things that you need to know about before even starting or thinking of writing an abstract and giving introduction. So obviously we are here to enhance the possibility of publications through our writing center, and which is doing a great job in letting us hone this skill. And this will tell you about some of the scenarios world over in this. I'm going to open this for you. Then I will navigate the path to getting Academy published through some key steps and tips. There will be more quizzes from Google Doc with answers. These are some of the samples of some of the research tools that could come handy for those who are wanting to lessen their burden, ease their process. And also obviously, we are working in the world where technology dominates, and there are stages, and for each stage we have different kind of tools available. Some of them are paid, some of them free. So for research gap finding, literature review, reading papers, citation management, writing, editing, and I'm sure that many of you are familiar with many of them, most of them, because they are being extensively used worldwide, and there's no shaming about how to resort to such kinds of wealthy resources, as long as they don't go against the norms and the ethics, the boundaries of the institutions. Every institution has its own paraphernalia, of its own guidelines and own funding processes. So so talk about how to find research, also how to and I'm going to give you some of the slides where I'll delve deeper into the nuanced studies of. So these are some of the documents I'm going to use frequently, and I will be shuffling through one to the other while talking about publishing. I wanted you guys to even join for a live engagement platform with question answer sessions, but I'm doubtful whether within 15 minutes I would be able to engage all of you with leaderboard, and I'll try one or two of them. This QR code is the one will take you to that quiz, and the real-time responses to some of the pertinent questions that can be raised and that need to be answered, that they need to be really enlightened upon. So there are some questions, and now this is my slide for today's one of those. So if I have to give you a brief overview of what involves, look at this picture here, you'll find that supervisors world over, they're hard taskmasters. They really want you to work hard, diligently, and it's a kind of frustrating and arduous process of getting yourself. So it's a roadmap, a road trip, which is not too rosy. And so being an early career research, especially experiences challenges, and those challenges need to be met by anyone who wants to have a brighter prospect of getting published. So we need to go slowly and in the right directions. I mean, if you go by the wrong directions, you will have more rejections. Believe me, there are too many rejections that people end up having their manuscripts and all just shelved, and they wait for the whole life to get published. So it's not an easy task. So I'll talk about what are the steps, which one comes first, how to balance and all that. So this is just simply I'm letting you know what I'm going to talk about: how to write, how to use the Boolean logic, how to have a good abstract with good inkling of what's inside, what are the topics, research article structures, basically what's the research questions. In fact, if I need to tell you about the research questions, which we begin with, this is research questions, one sentence question about a topic that gets answered with the research. So we have top problems when designing. We need to do the survey and the sampling, whichever methodology we adopt, whether it's quantitative or qualitative. So surveys are to be done. Could be interviews, could be taped one, and then so these are the questions. And so we have these kind of two qualitative, quantitative, and mixed method researches. And if we talk about gathering analysis, and it's like a research onion where we have to develop research methodology, and it starts with smaller chunks to the bigger world of out there, and with citations and all that. So we have some of the research tools like Dropbox, Research, Mendeley, and annotations. Research questions involve certain kind of niche area. Niche area is the area where you are really invested heavily in and you are confident about them. Nobody will let you know what's your niche area. You have to design it, you have to think of it. So, and when you are ready with some sort of first draft or sketchy draft, there's no harm in getting the feedback of your favorite about your topics or about your, and the challenge about your partners or peers or teachers or supervisors, of course, will be there for that. So this is a hypothesis of how this cycle of research development works. There are steps to these steps of the process of research, and we need to act, we need to plan, we need to do, and we also need to study a lot. And it's a cycle that keeps on going. So there are certain questions, there are certain do's and don'ts about. So we're not going to aim too high because there are areas where there's no end of. So relatively, we choose the topic of the last 2-3 years of researchers in the literature review section. We cannot research last 10 years of study because so much has already gone into the research field over the years that it's better to restrict us to only 2 years of any projects. So these are some of the do's and don'ts of. So there are so many books and methodologies. I can share with you the resources of. So ideal sequence of mixed method. And so what skills do you need in mixed method researches? Obviously these are some of the key aspects of method research: creating titles, mixed methodologies, and philosophy, theory, rigorous method. I'm not going to details now. I'll go into details with other slides. So let me just have you get along with me how to start upskilling yourself through training workshop, through self-study, through apprenticing, and through variables, describing trends, explain relationship. So that's the end of this part. Let me go to the other part where we can delve deeper into the nuanced study of the. So if I have to talk about the real steps, being an early career researchers, what are those steps and how are we going to master the art of this? So if I have to present you, in fact, mastering the art of this picture shows, I hope you are viewing this. In the 20th century, a committee of the International Astronomical Union took it upon itself to accurately delineate the 88 constellations and include 48 ancient. I mean, this is the way we delve into the world of research through design methods and through so we need to expect all kinds of challenges. Challenges might include, let me skip through and go through this. Let me go into the presentation mode of this. That would be better for me to. Presentation mode, where is the presentation mode? Okay, this is a presentation mode. All right, so all right. Now let's say the world of research paper publications, how we master the art and how we provide valuable insights into this. So the first thing is choosing the right journal. Now, how do you get to know which one is the right journal or not right journal? So it depends on scope, reputation, impact factor. If you're aware of impact factor, that means how valuable your research is and how many times they're going to be cited. So obviously every research article is intended for right audience. That means there will be readers and you have to know who are your readers. If you don't know who are your readers, your intended target will be misled. So title that we begin with any research article, it has to be a compelling one. Compelling means it has to be concise, it has to be descriptive, and also engaging, and must include some of the keywords that reflects the essence of your study. So well-crafted title grabs reader attention. It doesn't have to be very long. It has to be scripted like, keywords in one sentence, usually 12 to 14 and words, like 15, max 15. And this also increases the visibility of the paper and entices, like seduces to explore further and even the reviewer looks at the title first and decides to whether he needs to read the whole title or not. So next comes writing the effective abstract. Abstract, as we know, that it's a summary of a research paper, and it's like a window to the world of the research, the entire manuscript. So make it clear, concise, informative, highlight the research questions, and also key findings and conclusion. And in your abstract itself, normally it runs into 250 to 300 words, and usually it summarizes the whole thing, what's inside it. So the keywords optimizes, it enhances the possibility of your getting visible, and the academicians or the reviewers or the journals editors and all, they will discover these keywords and they'll try to align and map your keywords to your to the abstract first and then to the entire manuscript. So it must capture readers' interest and also decide whether to read the full paper or just to leave it. So structuring a paper might involve what is the logical flow. You look at the logical flow here, should be introduction, then comes literature review, methodology that I talked about, whether it's like qualitative, quantitative, mixed methodologies. Then of course we have to present the results, and it's a very tedious task to display the results in the graph or chart or bar. But thanks to these technological interventions, we have lots of tools. I'm going to talk about those tools which might help you in putting the results. Could be a survey, could be a interview, like qualitative and quantitative, and discussions and conclusion. Use headings and subheadings to organize the content. We have to have a numbering 1, 1.1, 1.2, like this, and 2, 2.1, and 2.2. So each section contributes to the overall coherence of your paper. So this area, if you could see the logical flow, introduction, literature review, methodology, result, discussions, and all that, subheadings and organization. So after thinking through, we have to have the organized structure beforehand. We cannot simply put anything anywhere. So result analysis will be tables, graphs, figures. We need to have separate captions and also labeling, and highlight significant findings in terms like on the basis of the interview. The majority of the people of the opinion, or like most of the people agreed or disagreed or things like that. So visual representation enhance understanding and make your paper more engaging. Now visual representation might include pie chart, bar graph, rising trend, falling trend, could be ascending, descending orders, could be the samples, could be the number of the year, the depends upon the stream or discipline that you are writing the research on. So citing and referencing is proper citation. Then you have to validate your references, and it has to be done through citation. Citation, like we have some tools like Zotero, Cite for citations, and this is required for academic integrity, because with the rigorous testing and validating, if it's not found to be following the appropriate citation style like APA, MLA, and consistency, I mean, there has to be a consistency throughout the paper. You cannot juggle through these citation styles. So cite relevant sources to support your arguments, acknowledge the work of others. Accurate referencing adds credibility to research because it can be checked online quickly through the links, through the blue buttons. We have the referencing, quick referencing guidelines, and then comes the peer review process. This is the toughest part of the, because the peer review includes mostly 2 to 3 reviewers, and they may belong to 2 to 3 areas also, or disciplines, and that they ensure the quality, validity of research. So if it's not enticing or tempting, and your abstract are not really well worded, it has to be free from mechanical errors. You're not expected to make grammatical errors in your abstract. It has to be flawless. It has to be perfectly blended, perfectly. It has to show that coherence is maintained and higher order of lexicology used, and reviewers' comments carry a heavy weight, because unless it goes under the rigorous scrutiny of all those reviewers, you're not going to see the light of day of publication. So make necessary revisions. Revisions are stepping stones. They're not failures. They're not to be dismayed at. You don't have to be frustrated or for any rejection or repeat or kind of resub. Mostly we have resubmissions of the everyone, all of us. I do have rejections even at this stage of my career. So peer review helps refine your work and increases chances and acceptance. So promoting your research. Now, it's not just about that you have gotten your research published. Everywhere is marketing is involved. You have to highlight it. It has to be brought to notice of those readers. And so promoting your published research could be done to social media. These days, social media plays a prominent role in getting the ideas across all the boundaries and age and institutions wise, and academic networks. If you promote your network and bind with people, have a good rapport with the academicians worldwide, and you get to attend the conferences, and then people, your finding, you collaborate with your peers, you engage with discussions with your own peers, and you need to seek opportunity on your own. There are no shortcuts or set paths to tread on. So effective promotion increases visibility, citation, and your reputation as. So for now, you have got something of the essential tips. Now, how to master our research paper? In fact, it starts from, if I have to highlight the key areas where you need to work, is like, you can see that, remember, choosing the right journal. The first thing is choosing the right journal. Then crafting captivating titles, right? Then writing effective abstracts, and presenting your results are key elements. Embrace the peer review. Embrace, that means welcome. Always think of peer review feedback as a stepping stone to further fine-tuning and further refining your research process and research paper. Promote your work and contribute to scholarly community. Happy publishing for now, but let's see the nitty-gritties of how many things are involved with the like, what are the publishing research an essential part, and why it allows you to share the findings with the global community. So establishing your expertise in your respective fields. Suppose I'm talking about ELT. The process of getting research published can be challenging because we have so many ELT platforms, and we have some of the journals are not recognized world level, but they keep selling the things. Sometimes you may have to pay for it getting published. So choosing the right journal which you can afford to. Sometimes you have to pay for it. If you can afford to, or your institution has the funding for that, they can pay for you, and your financial is financially backed up. So then you consider how to. So look at the scope, look at the journal aligned with the topic. Like, don't send your ELT journal to science journals, and don't send your scientific journals to the other geographic channel or social media journals. So impact factor is gauge the reputation. That means every journal, every published article has this impact factor. It's 1.1 to 7 to 8, So it's gauge its reputation and influence the field. So targeting the right audience and targeting the right journal. These are two things which you must, So for example, here, considering submitting your paper to a journal like renewable energy or energy policy. If your research is on the renewable energy, don't send it to the other journals. They have nothing to do with the energy. So word limit is important, because if you don't stick to the formatting, so usually the word limit is already specified, and you need to ensure your paper meets a specified word limit. Figures and tables also you need to specify, and there are usually the spaces, and I'll show you one of the samples of where to put the figures and tables. Understand the requirements for including figures, tables, other visual aids. If a journal requires APA formatting, make sure to use the correct citation style and follow the guidelines for heading, in-text citations, references. So I'm reiterating these points. Why? Because you have to hammer it down, your psyche, that there are no cut shorts, or you cannot oversteps, or you cannot skip any of the stages of publication processes. So abstract is a concise summary. It's a clear overview. Research questions are the pinpoint, the axis where entire research revolves around. Then you have methodology. That's up to you to adopt. Which methodology you adopt, how far you can take it successfully. Do you have your interviews, and do you have enough number of people to talk to, discuss? What are your way of, when you have come up with the key findings and the implications, how are you going to present them? How are you going to, so being precise is really, really important everywhere. And it's better to avoid jargons or technical terms. For example, look at this example. This study investigates the impact of social media on mental health among teenagers, different culture contexts. It's really ambiguous. So why not this study is to? I mean, simply you don't say investigates the impact of social media. Why not is to study? Findings suggest a significant correlation between excessive social media use and increased level of anxiety and depression. So this kind of hyperbole, this kind of bombastic language, say, should be avoided. Don't need to. So structuring the paper, providing a good background, literature review. This includes a lot of things. It might be overwhelming for you to look at all of these, but these are the steps involved, and we cannot. So results have to be interpreted. Then we have to summarize in research on climate change, the introduction could provide an overview of the current state of environment. And this is one of the examples where, like, if I am writing a paper on climate change, I need to talk about what are the recent climate changes. The strong results. What are the strong results? This should demonstrate the validity, significance of research. Consider the following tips. Once again, clear, concise language, data presentation, graphs, and don't speculate on the outcome. You need to avoid you have to be exact. You have to be really straightforward in your findings, and it has to be validated, all the figures and facts. If you research investigate the effectiveness of a new drug, present the studies and analysis of the data, including p-values and confidence. This is from the medical world. This is how we need to present the data. And so this is what is required. There are some of the steps involved in this. Now, if I have to show you some of the scenario of our research world, you'll find this is the research world. Do you see this? Now, what is this picture? What does this suggest? What is the picture present before us? Is it an easy task to get through your thesis research published and leading to a PhD award? What do you think of the reviewers here? Reviewer 1, reviewer 2, 3, 4. Look, you will be in a tedious, critical state. Your paper is in the critical state, and you are undergoing like an ICU, intensive care unit, and these are the doctors. They will diagnose, and they will also they are not going to simply operate. They are going to give you life and death sentences. So this is how the research world, lots of obstacles. Yeah, you're right. Yes, this is what you know. So there are certain tools and for researchers that I showed you before. I would advise you to try one of them for one of those areas. I mean, it could be, for example, finding research gap. You need to check out these, and I'm not sure if I haven't used all of them. I'm not familiar. Like Science Space is good. Literature review, you can have Consensus or Lit Maps and this site. Reading papers, scholars say, Unriddle, Avid Note, citation management. I've mentioned about Zotero, Mendeley, and then EndNote. Then we have Paper Poll and others, UMO. And there are many more in the market. I'm not familiar with data analysis, visualization, for presentation. These are the diagrams, draw you, and bound. So initially I showed you this just as my supervisor's feedback on my PhD thesis. See the what are the comments? Can you read the comments? Is it visible to you, the comments? Now chat is on. The chat is on. Yes. Okay. Can you read the comments here? Yeah. Jargon remove. Read your own work. No. Yeah. Force. Yeah. Some of them are. I mean. So it's like, really disconcerting, and you will be disappointed a number of times. Rejection, and you have to be ready for rejections, because it's not an easy path to go through this arduous, so I need to, all right, napkin. Yeah, look at this now. Publish or perish. What do you understand from this? Publish or perish? Can I have something in the chat box? I mean, if you need to stay robust, need to be noticed, need to stand out in the world of academia, you must publish, otherwise you're going to perish. So, because all the promotions, your job guarantee or your hike in the perks all depends upon publication, especially in the scientific world. If you're not publishing, you are not there. You will be invisible for the employer. So importance publishing, I need not overemphasize this. Publish academic work is crucial to service. It contributes to the body of knowledge, not only for promotions and your perks, also important for, this is how we advance the knowledge in the world, World over, the scientific researches are being done to, and it also adds to the color and the to the beauty, to the reputation of the author, and it could lead to definitely career advancement. So strong publication record, it talks highly of you in a glowing terms, attract funding, elevate their status, choosing the right journal, as I mentioned. I cannot say it again and again, that you must target the right journal. Only then you will be able to widen the scope and broadening the impact factor, and you will have the right audience, you will have the right submission prospects. Submission process is chosen. Once the journal is chosen, what is the next involved? This typically involves formatting the manuscript. So what is important in journal specification, writing a compelling cover letter. If you're aware of it, that most of the, needing to stay alive and need to survive. Yes, Rida, we must, get our work published. So cover letter is required. Co-authors also have approval of submission. Submission process can be time consuming, but it takes 6 months around. For every reputable and leading journals and all, they usually take 3 to 6 months for. So you have to stay resolute and so it's not quick. It's never quick. Peer review. This is the gatekeeper. This guy is like a referee. After submission, a manuscript undergoes peer review, where experts in the field evaluate about quality, originality, relevance. It's daunting, and reviewers may provide critical feedback, but don't reject the critical flag as frustrating exercise, because you cannot ignore. You must take that into consideration. I have a tough time in the beginning when I really, flaunted some of the norms, some of the styles, and so I had rejection in the beginning. Then I came to realize that we cannot overstep and sideline these reviewers, because they are the ones, the gatekeepers, and they are like at the gate of the hell. So they won't let you even a smell of them, and you won't be able to get your publications even reach the first stage unless the revision and resubmission. It can be resubmission for, and it can be disheartening and rejection. So stay ready for rejections, and obviously when you get rejected, you get to learn more and more. You get to refine your manuscript. Once the final manuscript is accepted, then proofreading, addressing any last minute changes. Sometimes we skip and we simply miss out certain things. So a thorough double look and discernible pair of eyes are needed to navigate the publishing agreement. We have to enter an agreement that this is the original work, you are not copied, plagiarism free and all that. If they have a plagiarism checker. This phase can be exhilarating as the hard work culminates in this dissemination research finding. How it also requires careful attention to ensure that the published work accurately reflects the author's intentions. So conclusively, if I have to show you how important, how burdensome, and how difficult this process, entire process is, it is rewarding. It is really heartening, and we belong to academic community. Journey is worthwhile spending, and if you get to. Because look at this, leading to the PhD, this guy is your supervisor and he's a student. You are the student and you are in the university. So I think can you see that? Yeah, I need to get past, yes. Yes. You see the PhD, so most universities, they don't fund you. Actually, they rob you of your precious financial, and it's a first burden world over. You can supervise simply maybe relaxing and just enjoying you suffering, seeing you suffering. So you are the one who's going to bear the brunt, and like you are the beast of, you're the beast, you are the beast of burden, and the entire burden falls on you, in fact. So it's not an easy step, and we need to look at intricacies. And now there are some questions that I'm going to ask you. If you're ready to attempt these questions. Yeah, so what is the primary purpose of publishing research findings? I really want you to get at the bottom of the basics of research findings. Can you give me an answer here? Don't worry about now is it right or wrong. Just give me an answer, okay? What is the primary purpose of publishing research findings? Sophia Ford, fulfill graduation requirement. Oh, really? to avoid academic scrutiny? Okay, yes. All right, let's go to the next one. Which stage of the publishing process involves gathering data and analyzing fundings? Data and analyzing fundings. Don't worry about the right or wrong answer. Just have a look, just test yourself. You're okay. What is crucial aspect of writing a manuscript? Is it crucial? Crucial means very important aspect of writing a manuscript. Is it submitting without revisions, avoiding feedback, adhering to general guidelines? This is very simple, you know. Yeah, adhering to the guidelines. That's correct. Yeah, right. Of course, we have to adhere to. There is no choice. How should one approach feedback received during the peer review? How are we going to receive it? Defensively? Will you respond defensively? Just ignore it? Enhance the manuscript, submit without changes? Of course, we cannot submit without changes. So use it for, yes, you're right. Okay, great. What is a common reaction to manuscript rejection? I mean, it varies, depends, you know, but what is a common rejection? Taking it personally? Using it as a learning opportunity? Yeah, the best scenario will be using it as a learning opportunity, right? We cannot celebrate rejection, yes. Okay, so what is one of the do's of the publishing process? Do's, I mean, you have to. Do we rush? Do we rush the submissions? Or do we collaborate? Or avoid networking, neglect journal guidelines? We cannot afford to do first and last two. We must collaborate. Yes, you're right, you're right, you're right. So, what should you do to ensure compliance with journal guidelines? Compliance. Compliance. How do you comply? Okay, yes. We cannot use a generic submission. You have to familiarize with the guidelines. There's no way out, you know. What is the benefit of attending conferences? Like the one I'm doing and I'm conducting. What's the benefit? Networking? Or to compete? Obviously, it's not to compete with the fears, you know. It's just for it's you know. So, okay. Which of the following is the recommended strategy for managing time? Managing time, rushing to meet the deadline, ignoring submission timelines, submitting draft without revisions, taking time to polish the manuscript. Yes. Now we say Pomodoro technique. If you guys are familiar with Pomodoro, do you know what's Pomodoro technique? Now, while writing your abstract and all, every 20-30 minutes, just have a break of 5 minutes. Relax for a while, and then, yeah, that's the way you can, you know, minimize our burden. What is the purpose of creating a database for the target journal? Database. Database. Target journal database. And same scope, journal with high rejection, avoid some multiple journals. Yeah, it should be avoid some multiple journals. Yeah, yes, you're right, Sabina. Yes, you're right. Now these are some of the questions. I've got some more questions to go for. Okay, now let me go for this. Do you see this? I can send you this Google doc for attempting this. Which of the following tools is primarily used for literature review? Literature review, any idea? Mendeley, Consensus, Gamma, Bioarenda? Probably 2. Consensus. Okay, all right, we'll see. All right, okay. Main function of citation management tools like Zotero. Zotero, what does Zotero do? Do for us? Zotero? Analyze data, manage professor, create presentation. Which tool would be most appropriate for visualizing data? Visualizing. EndNote, AvidNote, Paperpole. All right. If a researcher needs to create diagram illustrations, which tool should they use? Diagram. Scholarly, Julius and Beryl draw that. Okay, I'm just throwing these questions on you so that you can find and further investigate into these. Which of the following tools is designed to assist with writing and editing? Writing and editing. Which is the primary purpose tools like Scholarly to manage citations, create presentation. I'll share, by the way, I'm going to share this with you. Which tool is best suited for creating presentation? Okay, this is not for you. Which type of tool is Cite? This is good for you. You need to know this. SCITE. Literature review, citation management. Which tool do you recommend for managing reference in academic writing? References. Then we have, if research wants to analyze data, which tool should they consider? Okay, I'm going to share this. save link as copy link address. All right. All right, so you can work on this Google Drive. Then I'm going to do more of the practicing for no, this is I need to do the co-construct. There is something called co-construct, and okay, napkin, no, I don't need this. There is one more I need to share that co-construct. In fact, I've got only 3 minutes or 4 minutes left, so I'm going to share some of the all right, yes, we've got a couple of minutes to address your issues and questions, and if I'm ready for any time and for that. So yes, if I have to wind up by 50, I'm almost done with it. I have a couple 2 minutes left for a question and answer session. So go ahead. Meanwhile, I'll share these things. Yes.
Thank you so much, Dr. Muhammad. Well, we'll leave whatever time left for us today to, time left in this session for the audience to share their concerns, issues, or questions. Please feel free if you need to use the mic. I don't think that's activated in today's session, but by all means, you can post your questions in the chat box, please.
Yes, I'm all out for you. Okay, if there are any questions, please go ahead.
I have one, if you don't mind, Mr. Muhammad.
Sure.
Dr. Muhammad.
Sure, please.
I like how you refer to choosing the importance of choosing the right journal for your manuscript. I'm curious, you being a published author, how do you usually choose your journals?
To tell you the fact, I keep sending my write-ups to different disciplines. Like I work more for interdisciplinary academic world, but as far as ELT is concerned, obviously there are certain journals specified for ELT, where you find out the niche area. Niche area means what is the area you are really invested in more, you're comfortable with. For example, testing, assessment, or classroom scenario or classroom management. You have to find out the area where you'd like to enhance your capabilities and also share your own experiences of your findings, your researches, depends upon, like could be a simple article, it could be your complete research paper, it could be your PhD thesis. So you have to zero in what stage of your publication you're interested in.
So you think interdisciplinary journals is probably a faster route for publication?
Yes, because their boundaries are not so rigid, and they have a plethora of themes, broader themes, And if you can fit in your publication under those themes, broader themes, like they're not very specific, and you can find out your particular specific area of research work, and it's easier, relatively easier, because you will be competing with ELT luminaries in a specific world class with the heavyweights. You understand what I mean? Champions and heavyweights. So you will have lesser chances of bleak chances of getting published. It's not easiest. So the time frame will be like 6 months, 6 to 8 months.
Okay, we're still waiting for questions from the audience. But don't you think if you do publish in interdisciplinary journals, you would probably run the risk of not reaching the right audience for your paper? What do you think?
You're right. In fact, we are living in the world where we have bridged the frontiers of the interdisciplinary stage. Like now, now ELT has frontiers of climate. We have frontiers of information technology. So it's being embedded now. Now ELT doesn't mean only ELT, English language teaching. So it incorporates whole lot of neurolinguistics, whole lot of climate, whole lot of students' well-being and teacher development, and there are so many areas. There is no end of the areas being incorporated now. So it's much easier. It gives you wider scope for getting published. Somehow try to pin or loop in your research with the kind of broader theme. So you are an ELT. I don't know whether you are from science or literature background or what kind of research you're talking about, but you can always weave a thread, and you can connect it to them, because the whole world is like, it's no more like in the olden days. I find it very easier as an English teacher, ELT. I can step into the other disciplines quite easily, because ELT is prominently reflected, and language usage, language awareness, social linguistics, and all those kinds of things are involved in other disciplines as well.
Thank you for that. Thank you. Any other questions from the audience?
Now, I had a lot of things I couldn't share in this 15 minutes of webinar. Like I could have shown you MLA format. You can see in my this Padlet. If I show you the Padlet here, you see. Do you see all of these? Like I have the quiz. If people are interested in getting to attempt and getting to familiarize with all, I have other quizzes also, like on constructor, a quiz with options. I have nuts and bolts of academic writing and quizzes. There are lots of quizzes that prepares you and have a quick view of, an overview of what is take to be a researcher, what is take to be to take the first step into this world of this fascinating world of.
Yes, and I think all of that can be accessed through the QR code you've shared.
Yes. Or even further, if there is any query, I'd love to share these with. I can say this is a guide for. Then we have MLA format. We have some of the quizzes. Quizzes are really with answers, and there are
We have a question here from Ms. Khulud. She's asking, does an impact factor below 1 is considered okay or very low?
No.
I think that
now
on the
you may not like it from me, but don't aim for the impact factor for now. If you're a new researcher, you are a budding one, you are stepping into this world. Those impact factors are for those seasoned ones, and they need to care. Just let yourself be accepted first in the world of publishing, and then you will see that you are getting recognized slowly. It takes time. An impact factor, of course, one is it's to starting the beginning, which goes up to 7 and all that. Anyway, we should not aim for these factors because there are so many other factors that come in before the impact factor. I'm not talking about the medical world and other worlds, specifically how this impact factor works for them. Their promotional avenues, their recognition, all that. But I'm talking about the new researchers, developmental one, and those who want them to be recognized in this publication house. Now, this is a further guide to restructuring your MA PhD thesis. There are so many other documents I could share if someone is interested in. 0.07, yeah.
All right. I think we reached the end of our time in this workshop, for this workshop. Thank you so much, Dr. Muhammad, for this. Thank you for our audience today. All the best, and as always, you can find this recording of this workshop on our YouTube channel. And please don't forget, if you're interested in receiving a certificate from us, attendance certificate, please use the link shared by Mr. Kamal to fill in the evaluation form. Thank you, everyone, and Assalamu alaikum.
Salam. Thank you so much, Dr. Soha. It was nice being with you guys.